also, I know the video looks a little weird, like it's a little kind of grainy, kind of looks like that, and the lighting is changing, but, I don't know, I haven't been able to figure out why my camera does that when it's dark, but even with lighting, if the main room is pretty dark, it looks crazy, but I think it kind of adds the older, like more, how do I want to say this, like old style ASMR vids. Alright, starting off with my bag itself. This I got from, I believe, I don't think it was, Hot Topic. Oh, no, I can't, box something. It's like a mall store. It'll come to me, I'm sure, towards like the end of the video. But it is a My Neighbor Totoro bag, which, if you don't know, that's a movie produced by Studio Ghibli, which is a Japanese animation house. So, the bag features Totoro and some of the other forest spirits, along with some dandelions. I'm not sure what that is. It almost looks like a strawberry, and some random leaves and flowers. The main panels, the front, back, and some of these little side panels are a kind of cream color with pops of blue and gray and green and yellow and red. And then the zipper and the bottom kind of panels are this beautiful, and the little My Neighbor Totoro tag are this really beautiful baby blue. So the zipper runs along the top. I can't tell if that's a pleasant sound or not. And it's a pretty standard zipper. Doesn't sound the best, but I don't know if I should go in order of routine or by order of what's on top. But I feel like doing it in routine will allow for some more rummaging sounds, so I'll do that. Alright. So like I said, these are the 10 items that I use pretty much every day I do my makeup. This is the Say Beauty, S-A-I-E, Say Beauty Sun Visor Broad Spectrum SPF 35 Radiant Moisturizer. So essentially this is a tinted sunscreen. It isn't necessarily anything more than very sheer coverage, like the tint itself isn't and shouldn't probably be a perfect match for your skin tone. It just kind of has this very light kind of bronzing effect if you're kind of my shade or any lighter, and if your skin tone is any deeper than mine, it has this almost pearlescent effect just to add a kind of glow. But it's essentially SPF that kind of has some kind of pearlescent, some kind of sheen to it, does just look like a natural kind of dewy glow, and it is really pretty, and it is sunscreen, so usually I'll use this right after skincare, and then I'll apply this, wait a couple minutes between, 5 to 10 minutes, really let it sink in, and then I'll do my makeup on top of that, and it seems to work out really well. It's just kind of the perfect glowy base for everything. I also have the Say, what are they? They're in the tubes, with the pump, and it's the Sun Glow or the Star Glow drops or serum. I can't remember the exact name, but it's essentially this product without the SPF, which I know sounds really confusing. It's essentially a serum that has some pigment. You can get either just a pearlescent like shade, or there's one that is a lot deeper that has some true like bronzing pigment in there. But I do like those. I feel like they don't layer well under makeup at all. They're just something, you would wear by itself, but this layers really, really well under makeup, and for that, I'm grateful. This is my second bottle. Okay, next up, right on top actually, is the concealer I've been using, which is something I actually just got, but I've not put this down since I started using it, and it is the Tower 28 Serum Concealer in the shade K-Town. So, this is one of the best concealers I've tried, mainly because of the true neutral undertone that this shade has. A lot, if not the vast majority of concealers or foundations, or really any kind of base products I've used, tend to kind of exclusively have warm undertone or cool undertone shades, and as someone who has neutral, and I've even been told from some people I have olive undertones, it's really hard because, I'm neither warm or cool, and in the past I went with warm undertones because I was what was closest, but they just always, it was always very obvious when I was wearing concealer because it didn't exactly go with my skin tone. But this concealer truly is really neutral. I can swipe it on my cheek and it's an almost perfect match. Right now I might have to get a shade darker in the summer just because I tan quite deeply, but as of right now this is perfect, and it's very hydrating. Doesn't crease throughout the day, and I'll do a small little swatch on my hand. So I don't know, you can see it there, and just buffing it out, you can barely see where it is. It's right there. It's just such a good match for my skin tone. And it truly looks like skin. It is almost like a veil over my skin, where you can still see some of the natural skin texture through it, but it has enough coverage to, cover any of the discoloration under my eyes. Really nice product. Really like it. Doesn't look cakey or anything like that. Very good. Image, please. Buildable, luminous color for cheeks and lips. Essentially just a cream blush. This is in the shade Office Hours, which is a nice mauve, which I find to be, again, really nice on neutral, olivey undertones. And I don't know if you can see, but I'm getting very close to finishing it. Might be easier if I take the lid off. I've been scraping the bottom lately, but this is such a nice shade for me. Like I said, it's very creamy and it blends out like a dream. You can use your fingers. I like to use a brush just to build the color a little bit more. And I find that a brush does help kind of blend it in areas where I don't have concealer underneath. It just blends it into the sunscreen quite a lot nicely, I find. But this is such a nice product. It looks seamless. It never separates or looks patchy on my skin. And it holds up through. There's been times where it's, raining quite heavily. My blush stays on when I'm sweating. And it's smudge proof as well. I tend to I don't know why, but just touch my face a lot, especially when I'm sitting. I'll kind of cradle my face in my hands, or I'll lean kind of on my fist and stuff like that, and my blush never budges. Very impressed with this stuff. Every single shade of this formula I've tried, I've really liked. Magic Hour was the first one. This I feel like suits my skin the most. And then I also have, I think it's Rush Hour, which is a more berry, I believe. I'm thinking the other shade I have is berry, but I'm not sure if it's Rush Hour. That's what I'm thinking. They do have a lilac, I would say even brighter than lilac shade that I'm dying to try. But I've kind of told myself that I'm not gonna buy any makeup this year. We'll see how long that lasts, unless I've used the equivalent of something that I finished last. So we'll see if I buy it after I completely finish this, or if I completely use up all my for example, I used all my mascara, so I bought a new mascara like that. But we'll see. I'm gonna try and hold off. But I have horrible impulse control. Anyways, to set everything, I have, sorry if that was a bit loud, my favorite powder ever, and this is the Say Beauty Air Set Setting Powder. This is a radiant loose setting powder, and this is in the shade Translucent. I'm not gonna open this because it'll make a huge mess, but this is such a nice, very fine milled powder that doesn't have any actual glitter in it, but it has some very fine particles that when, sunlight shines or very direct light, you can see not quite a shimmer, but it looks, it has a lot of dimension, and it makes your skin just, again, not quite look glittery or shimmery, but just have a little bit of flash or sheen to it. It's really interesting. The kind of look it gives off. I say use this under my eyes, and then I take, to set my concealer, and then I take a fluffy brush, just get a very little bit, and kind of dust that over the rest of my face. And I find makes my skin look set but smooth. It almost blurs the skin a little bit. I really like this, and I can't recommend it highly enough. Someone with drier skin, powders immediately look really dry on me. And this one, as long as I have a light hand, which is all I need to have with the products I use, never looks cakey or dry, anything like that. And again, sets everything without making it look matte, which is my goal when it comes to my makeup. Alrighty. Then we have my powder blush. And just as I set my concealer with powder, I like to set my blush with powder. It's not necessary, it's just a preference of mine. Lately I've been using the Glowish by Huda Beauty Cheeky Vegan Blush Powder in the shade 04 or Charming Cherry. I quite like this color, but I don't think it's going to be something I end up repurchasing once I'm done with it. It's really pretty, kind of a similar mauve to the Tower 28 cream blush, but a little bit more potent, like it's a little bit more fuchsia-y. And this looks really nice on my skin over the blush. I do find that sometimes this isn't necessarily super like smudge proof, which I know that's gonna sound confusing because I said the green blush wasn't, but there are definitely times where if I'm exclusively wearing this, I don't wear my green blush, I'll just pop this on, that it tends to smudge a little bit, or I can tell in areas where, you know, the green blush hasn't budged, but you can see kind of imprints on the very top layer of my blush is gone, if that makes any sense. Like, you can tell slightly because of the color difference and just the layering. Hope that makes sense. I feel like I'm not explaining that very well, but it does move a little bit, and I find that you really have to build it up to get like a good color payoff if that's what you're looking for. But otherwise, I don't really have any complaints about it. It's good blush. It has a little mirror on the inside there. That's really handy for reapplying it on the go. Never had a problem with this obviously breaking if I throw it in my backpack or anything like that. But yeah. Alrighty. Moving on from the face, that is my entire base routine. The eyes. For my eyebrows, I use the Got to Be Glued, what is this called? Glued for Brows and Edges Gel Style. I think it's pretty rubbed off on the label. I don't know if you can see that, but it's essentially just Got to Be Glued this for so long, but I just didn't really start using it until maybe 2 months ago. Could not tell you why. I think I bought it, I didn't like it at first, and it just kind of sat with stuff until I finished all my mascara. Or I thought I finished all my mascara, bought a new one, and then found this. And I was like, oh, well, I have to use this before I'm gonna open up my new one, you know what I mean? And started using it, and I was like, whoa, I really like this. And yeah, I have no clue why I didn't like it in the first place, but this is the Glossier Lash Lick in the shade brown. Really good mascara. It is a lot. I don't know if the brush is gonna tell you anything, but a lot less separating of a formula. I guess brush in this instance would probably do more of that than I typically go for. I really like super separated lashes, but the length that this gives is incredible. So good, and I usually only do one coat of mascara. I can imagine if you do 2 or 3 or 4, like if I don't personally have the time for that, but I know people who put a lot of time into their lashes and will do a lot of coats. This will give you insane length. The volume's pretty good as well, but I do think the main benefit of using this would be for the length, and it does. If you do a really thin, just single coat, it looks natural enough because of the brown, but it still gives just a really pretty fluttery effect to your lashes. Really like this. And if you go more, even if you're still doing one coat, but you kind of wiggle it at the roots to kind of build up some of the product and then kind of brush it through, it looks a little bit more wispy, but still some nice volume. Really good. But yeah, I do really like this. Definitely not the best mascara I've ever used, but it's really pretty. Alright, I maybe sort of kind of lied when I said these raw products I use every day, but I felt like I should throw a lip product in here. Plus I think 10 product makeup bag sounds better than 9. Don't know why, it just does. So this is definitely the lip product I use the most. This is also from Glossier. This is the Ultra Lip in the shade Trench, which this is a brown nude, but oddly enough, almost a pinkish brown shade. When I shear it out, you can see it almost blends into the Tower 28 blush. It's really interesting. I'll put some on, but it's really hydrating, almost like a lip balm, but it has a bit more texture to it. Like, you can definitely feel that it has a lot more pigment, excuse me. But it's really pretty, nice and sheer, and it just is a really pretty wash of color over the lips. Doesn't look sticky, doesn't look like lip gloss or anything like that. It's just kind of nice, hydrated, sheer lip look. Can't complain. Really like this stuff. Alright, last up is going to be, that's just the zipper, it's making it sound as I thought something else was in there. This is the setting spray I use. Like a bartender. This is the Half Magic Dew Lock Hydrating Set and Fresh Mist. Half Magic is created by the makeup artist that did all of the looks for Euphoria, which is super cool. They have some really interesting products, but I do quite like the setting spray. I find that most of my So just making sure that when I'm putting products on my face, they're not gonna look dry or anything like that. And it's just an extra added bit of protection, smudge protection. But yeah. Also, I really like the mister on this. I feel like it does really nice, even mist. I don't know if you can see that, but it's really nice, fine. And if you kind of move it as you're spraying it, it makes really nice, even coverage.